The Zephyrian delegation stood in the pristine halls of the Galactic Council, their crystalline forms refracting the ambient light into prismatic displays of anxiety. Ambassador Veltar's voice resonated with the harmonic frequency of distress as he addressed the assembled representatives of 47 civilizations. Esteemed council members, Veltar began, his translucent body pulsing with nervous energy. We come before you today to discuss a matter of grave concern. The humans, they have begun repaying their debt. A collective silence fell across the chamber. The Thoraxian representatives' chitinous plates clicked nervously, while the floating consciousness of the ethereals dimmed visibly. Even the ancient Voidborn, beings older than most star systems, stirred uneasily in their containment fields. Council Prime Zendar, a being whose species had witnessed the birth and death of galaxies, leaned forward on his biomechanical throne. Explain, Ambassador. The human debt arrangement was considered satisfactory to all parties involved. Veltar's form flickered with what could only be described as fear. 3 standard rotations ago, the humans completed their agreed-upon contribution to the Galactic Defense Network. Their technological innovations, their military strategies, their unique problem-solving methods. All delivered as promised, and more. Then what troubles you? Asked Counselor Zefti of the Mindweaver Collective, her psychic tendrils probing the emotional undercurrents of the chamber. They have exceeded the terms of their debt. Veltar continued, his harmonic voice cracking slightly. By approximately 437%. And now they insist on continuing. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien languages, each species expressing their alarm in their own distinct manner. The Hive Queen of Sector 7 began secreting stress pheromones, while the mechanical representatives of the Forge world sparked with electromagnetic interference. Silence. Council Prime Zendar's voice boomed across the hall, enhanced by psychic amplifiers. Ambassador Veltar, please elaborate on the nature of this excess. Veltar's crystalline body dimmed as he accessed the data streams. The humans were tasked with providing defensive technologies to protect our trade routes from the Void Plague entities. Instead, they not only solved that problem but eliminated the Void Plague entirely from 3 spiral arms. When we asked them to develop better communication networks, they created instantaneous quantum entanglement relays that span the entire galaxy. When we requested improved food production methods, they turned 17 dead worlds into garden paradises. Counselor Morix, representative of the Warcast of Kronos, slammed his armored fist on the table. These sound like achievements to be celebrated, not feared. You don't understand. Veltar's voice rose to near-panic frequencies. They're not stopping. Yesterday, they sent us blueprints for something they call a stellar engineering protocol. They want to rearrange entire star systems to optimize energy output for civilizations they've never even met. They'd begun referring to it as their neighborly obligation. The ethereal consciousness that called itself Whisper of Ancient Light pulsed with concern. Have you attempted to explain that their debt is fully satisfied? We've tried. Veltar exclaimed, his form now cycling through the full spectrum of visible light. Their diplomatic corps keeps responding with phrases like, but we can do better, and why settle for adequate when excellence is possible? Their leader actually said, and I quote, we're just getting warmed up. Council Prime Zendar felt a chill that had nothing to do with the chamber's temperature. He had lived through the rise and fall of countless civilizations, had seen species transcend the physical realm, and others collapse under the weight of their own ambitions. But something about the human approach to debt repayment struck him as fundamentally different and terrifying. What are they working on now? He asked, though part of him dreaded the answer. Veltar's form stabilized into a deep, ominous blue. They've formed something called the Galactic Improvement Initiative. Their latest project involves reorganizing the fundamental constants of physics in select regions of space to make interstellar travel more efficient for everyone. The chamber fell into stunned silence. Even the ever-present hum of the station's systems seemed to quiet in response to this revelation. They want to edit reality itself, whispered the Hive Queen, her voice barely audible through her translator unit. Not edit, Veltar corrected grimly. Improve. They've been very specific about that distinction. They claim they're simply optimizing the universe's source code for better performance. Counselor FTI's psychic tendrils recoiled as if burned. I've touched the edges of their collective consciousness during our diplomatic sessions. Their thought patterns, they genuinely believe they haven't done enough. The concept of good enough appears to be physically absent from their mental framework. Council Prime Zendar rose from his throne, his ancient joints creaking with the weight of eons. How did we misjudge them so completely? Our xenopsychology departments rated them as a standard emerging species with typical reciprocal social patterns. We failed to account for one crucial factor. Veltar admitted, his form now a subdued gray. Humans don't just repay debts. They overachieve pathologically. It appears to be hardwired into their species' survival mechanisms. They cannot psychologically accept having received help without providing exponentially greater help in return. As the council continued their emergency session, nobody noticed the small observation probe that had been quietly recording the proceedings. In a hidden facility on the far side of Earth's moon, Dr. Sarah Chin reviewed the footage with satisfaction. Excellent, she murmured to her team of eager scientists and engineers. They're starting to understand. Now we can really get to work on the fun projects. Behind her, holographic displays showed plans for pocket dimension creation, time stream optimization protocols, and something labeled simply as Universe 2.0, now with better physics. Across the galaxy, an entire civilization of cosmic entities that existed between dimensions suddenly felt an inexplicable urge to find somewhere else to be. The stars, indeed, shuddered.